right. Hello and welcome back, friends, frenemies, and family. Our warp drive is deactivated and our reactor is locked and in recharge mode. So it's time to stream again. So welcome back. As I said, thanks again for everybody that's followed me up to this point. Really appreciate all your support. This is a big day for the stream. This is the day that that I've been waiting for sure. We here at Eclipsed Frontiers. Hang on, let me adjust this one more time. There we go. We here at Eclipsed Frontiers, all one of me and myself here on the channel, Luraziel, has want to shout out to everybody that's ever followed, liked, or watched the stream. This is pretty big. This is the last day that I needed to go live, and from here on out, I should be able to fill out to be a Twitch affiliate. So yeah, this is it. We're gonna have an amazing stream. We're gonna talk about at least one or two things Eve related, and then go from there and get into the game. So, what did we do last time? Well, pretty much there wasn't a whole lot going on. We did some more wormhole content. We got about 20 mil, I think it was, in loot, and we sold that loot. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to be checking that out here soon. In a few minutes, we're going to see how our orders did. And we are also going to be, after that, we also built ourselves a basic PvP ship. I'm going to go back over that ship again. We're going to double check a few things, because if we did just buy everything on the fly and then get going from there. So we want to make sure everything looks good. We want to make sure everything's working properly as far as as far as how we want it to be. And then we're going to go look for some content. See what kind of trouble we can get ourselves into. I guess if we don't find anything, we'll pick a Nullsec Corp or Alliance, and we'll go just kind of poke that bear a little bit. But yeah, so that's it. Like that's the thing. And then once we die from glorious explosion, as is often the time and the case of what happens when you do PvP, especially solo. Especially me, who's terrible at it. We'll go back to seeing what we need to do to make some ISK and make up the loss of the ship that we just destroyed. So let's get into it. Let's go from there. Let's flip us over. Boop. All right. So the one thing that I wanted to talk about, there was a lot of April Fool's content, like a whole lot of April Fool's content, right? There was, like everybody always, like the entire internet gets in on April Fools, and CCP is no exception. This year they launched an article about a website, about an app that they created or are creating called Divinity Social, from friendship to relationship. It says, love-stricken capsuleers, the only ship better than the friendship is the relationship. And who says that relationship can't be forged with your fellow capsuleer? New Eden might be better known for kill mills than love letters, but that's about to change soon with Upwell Divinity Social, the new way to meet love amongst the stars. Divinity Social is a new multi-dimensional dating experience for EVE Online players, old and new. Simply log into the app and choose your preferences to meet and connect with like-minded capsuleers from across the cluster in the world's first MMO-centric dating app. By leveraging EVE's depth and complexity, Divinity Social will be a game-changer in the dating scene by comparing your EVE Online character to potential matches. Just like how you would fit your ship in EVE Online, you will be able to fit your profile for love. Simply select your favorite EVE activities, fit them to your profile, and let Divinity roam for content all the way up from Outer Passage to Delve. No more long nights stuck with a high-set Care Bear. Strike or be struck on Divinity Social over at divinity.eve.com. And then they actually go on to talk about their actual content. I'm gonna go ahead and click on this link just to, because they really kind of went all out on that. You know, they actually talk about Cruiser Chaos free-for-all proving grounds starting between the 1st and the 5th. And this is more Abyssal content. This is Abyssal PvP content, which is something we could actually look into getting into as well, if there's something that we can actually do. So that's not actually a bad idea. Let's see, the special proving grounds pitch you against three other capsuleers in a chaos era unlike ever before. Either work together or hit them hard and see what they're truly made of. And they've got unique bonuses that come in depending upon, like, you know, how you, whichever one, I guess it's randomly selected. New mystery nexuses. So, ships and module choices are limited. For the Cruiser Chaos event, you can pick from the Omen, Caracal, Thorax, Stabber, Mauler, Moa, Vexor, and Rupture. Modules are also limited to Meta 0, meaning you can fit the Warp Scram 1, but not the Faint Epsilon Scoped Warp Scrambler. Sensor Dampeners, Weapon Disrupt. I cannot talk tonight. Sensor Dampeners, Weapon Disruptors, Shield Rechargers, Shield Power Relays, Shield Flux Coils, and Core Defense Field Purgers are banned in this format. Ships entering this proving grounds may have a maximum of 1 local repair module fitted, shield, or armor. Regardless if you win or die trying, a repeatable event will be running to help fund your destruction. If you deal at least 4,000 damage to other ships during the event, you will receive 10 million ISK. There will also be an agency reward track running with the proving grounds. The more you fight, the more skins and boosters you can win. So that's pretty cool. As far as their thing they set up here, they have a YouTube video that they posted for this. It was actually pretty good. I watched it. Yeah, they really went all in on this. So that's kind of neat. So I brought this up specifically because I wanted to talk about the actual applications for something like this. This is like, for those of you that don't know, Eve's Corp and Alliance recruitment process, their advertisement, like the way you can put in an advertisement for a recruitment app or for a recruitment slot, is it's not the best laid out system, so I hope they're eventually going to go back and tweak it in the future. But the idea of putting it into an app like this, that capsuleers could go and they can scroll through, much like in the same way that we've already got, but in a cleaner interface. Kind of scroll through, see what the Corp or Alliance is all about, and that kind of stuff. You know, an Alliance, for instance, could make something like an advert for corporations. Actually, I think they already have that. I don't think I have the ability to see. I guess I could. Oh no, okay. I don't have it. So yeah, I guess alliances can put up their own form of applications in the same manner. But like if they were to utilize Divinity Social, or well, some version of it, to better display and format even that information on both ends, that would really kind of make the game kind of put the game in a better state. You know, imagine as a capsuleer being able to just kind of scroll through and pick your corporation of choice. You know, you can browse between you know, active members or not active, but like total members. You know, maybe how they look on Z-Kill, Snuggly versus Dangerous. You know, and there's a couple different ways you can actually play around with that. And so in all honesty, as much of a joke as this might have been, with this Divinity Social, they are kind of onto something here. So I hope CCP is actually listening in this particular case. even to my little small stream here, to our little group, and maybe actually takes this to heart and goes back and puts this on a planner board somewhere to look at it in the long term and see how it can actually affect the game in a positive way. Because I think something like this would be a really good addition if it's cleaned up specifically for the use of capsuleers, corporations, and alliances. Maybe just not on the love side, you know. I don't know. Well, everything in Eve, it's war, so wars, battles, fights, you know, that kind of thing. Yep, that's what I was saying, Misa. It's a really, really good idea for corps and alliances. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, I didn't bring it up here, but I ran across the information. I think it's in here. Here we go. Yes, this is it. Clone states. And this is on the Eve Uni page. And as I've said before, my account is currently Omega. So the character that I'm playing on is currently Omega. However, because I'm going for Nubro and Alpha accessible content, simply training up ships and training up skills and modules that an Omega can use and that you can see wouldn't necessarily benefit you if you were a newer player or an older player that just wants to play on the newer side of things. So I ran across this information, this little bit of information right here, which talks about the clone states, it talks about how an alpha is versus an omega. You get 5 million skill points of free training, and then you can use 20.5 million skill points worth of skills. There are certain skills that you can train up to a specific level, and I've mentioned this in the past. So just as kind of an idea, when we first jump into the game, I'm gonna be tailoring into this a little bit, making sure that what we've got set in the skill plan is actually adhering to this. Because I've got a few months of training as an Omega, so I want to utilize that 2x train time, 2x speed to train those specific skills, train those specific abilities, so that way we can utilize something like that. Yep, and if you need a recruitment link, there's that. You can get a free 1,000,000 skill points right there. It gives you a bit of a boost so you can get into the game a little bit quicker and get into what you want to do. So these are all, this is all like worthwhile content, of course, for anybody that's looking to know exactly what they can do as an alpha. And of course, there's a specific skill plan set that you should follow as an alpha to make sure you get specifically into your path of choice at that 5 million SP limit. And then from there, you can buy the 50,000 alpha injectors, which gives you the chance to keep training daily a little bit more. Which, if I remember correctly, I think it rounded up that as an alpha, if you were still able to train past the 5 million SP, the 50,000 SP injector is about a day's worth of training regardless. So you can kind of just auto inject that time. Of course, as long as you can afford it. Obviously, it's expensive. So it's cheaper than Omega, I think. But yeah, so all right, so we are going to get over to where we wanted to be. Let's go ahead and boop. There we go. All right. And I will drag that right there. And let's start, like I said, by checking out our skills. Now, I did have one skill that completed the Galente Frigate level 4. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we've got here. I As far as armor goes, we can train armor layering to level 1. So like if I wanted to pick this skill up, which is 1.3 million, I'll probably not worry about that. EM, thermal, explosive, and kinetic armor compensations. Those I think were cheaper. Yeah, they were 195,000. We can train them all up to level 2. So these are options as well. I think our best bet is actually to look at Spaceship Command before we go into any of those. The drone skills, the specialization skills can all be trained up to level 2. So Amar, Kaldari, Minmatar, Galente. Drones themselves can be trained up to level 5. And I do know that light drones can be, and here it is in here, can be trained up to level 5. Repair can be trained up to level 2. Medium drone can be trained up to level 4, so you could not use Tech 2 medium drones, as I had stated before. Let's see here. Heavy drone operation can be trained up to level 3. Again, you cannot use Tech 2 heavy drones. However, I believe that allows you to use meta heavies, if I'm not mistaken. So, let me find out. Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Just go to market. It'll be easier to find them if I just go into the market. Heavy attacks. We'll just do berserker ones. That's just an option. So here's the requirements. Heavy drone operation 1. Variation. Let's go with Republic Fleet Berserker, because I'm pretty sure. Yeah, so you can fly those meta ones. But if you wanted to do, say, augmented, you need heavy drone operation 5. So you couldn't use augmented. And you can't use augmented of heavy or medium either, by the way, because they both require the level 5, I believe. And of course, the drone specialization level 1 as well is what's required here. So you can use, you can't use the augmented. I think you can use the integrated. Yeah, you can use integrated, which aren't as strong as augmenteds. So that's actually a pretty decent skill set right there. You can use integrated Republic, in this particular case, integrated Republic and the Tech 1. Which realistically is probably all you're going to need depending upon what you do. The integrated is more expensive than the Republic Fleet Berserkers in this particular case, because they're the way they're designed, or they have been in the past at least. Oh, I closed the wrong window. So let's zoom all this down. And like I said, as far as Spaceship Command goes, you've got Galente, frigate level 4. Light drone operation 5 is training. I'll double check the drone the drone skills just to make sure. Drone sharpshooting. I can train that up to level 4. Let's see here. Drone interfacing, level 3. I've got that right there. That's as high as I've got that. Drone durability can be up to level 4. With small beam laser spec, it cannot be at level 3. Oh, wait, no. I think that was allowed to be up. Yeah, small beam laser spec. All the specializations that are small can be trained up to level 3. The mediums are the ones, I think. No, those can be level 3 as well. But when you get into the larges, you can't actually use Tech 2. You can only get large energies and hybrids up to level 4. So like large energy turret 4, but I can't go to the specialization because I can't train that to level 5, for instance. Fleet support, leadership can be trained up to level 3. It's like the only thing in fleet support you can do. So, surgical strike can be trained up to level 4 in gunnery. So for those of you that are interested in that, small energy turret at level 5, hybrid level 5, projectile level 5. Yeah, so that's okay. We'll take off Amar Frigate 5. Take off weapon upgrades 5, because I'm not actually sure about that. And I think I have to wait on those. I'll keep these at level 3, because I'm almost positive I can trade all those at level 3. So let's see here. We've got Amar battle cruiser, battleship. Those can all be 4. Cruiser to level 4, destroyer to level 4, and frigate to destroy. Frigate to 4. So I can get frigate to 4. Go ahead and pop that in there. That'll just kind of give us a little bit more to kind of play with right away. Just to make sure we're an Amara Industrial is level 1, by the way. All the industrial skills are going to be at level 1. So just so you know. So our next step's going to be to get cruiser to level 1. We'll go ahead and buy and inject that. Oh, looks like we did get quite a bit of ISK. Let's actually get that right there. That way we can kind of get that ready to go for the next time. And I mean, it's kind of the same way with Caldari, Galente. You know, so these are all things we can look at and utilize. Go ahead and get Galente Destroyer. Talking would be amazing. Drop that there. Don't drop that there. And then I'll drop this at the bottom. There. That kind of gives us that. Let's see here. Minmatar would be the same thing. Where's that? There it is. Minmatar frigate level 2. Go ahead and get those all set up. Just put it there. It'll be fine. And then finally level 4. Okay, that kind of takes care of that. Caldari frigate's at level 3, so we'll go ahead and drop that there. That'll put it up to level 4, and then we can do destroyer as well. We can go ahead and pick that up. Just simply because we don't care as much. And that's the other thing too, is as I can get those skills, the skill injectors, the Omega ones, I'll go ahead and just run them through. That way they're, because the idea is going to be to buff this guy up to the 20 million SP ish limit as quick as possible. We shouldn't have a problem doing that. I mean, the only thing that I'm not doing is buying skill injector, or not skill injector. Well, yeah, I'm not buying skill injectors either. But I'm not buying the the training clone stuff that I would need to do that. So that kind of puts us in a pretty good path. It doesn't really show you the advanced ships, but if for some reason you ever had to go back to alpha, or you were starting a new character, or just wanted to, send yourself to Doomheim and redo your entire account, now you know. It's kind of one of those things. Structure management, you can put anchoring to 1. That, where is it? There it is. That's actually kind of important. We'll go ahead and grab that one, and I'll show you why. You know, if you wanted to drop a customs office gantry, if you wanted to use any of these, secure containers, mobile micro jump unit, a design laboratory, I think those are for POSes. Yeah, these are for POSes. If you wanted to ever drop any of those things for your corp or help your corp out, that would be why you would want the anchoring one. And that's just 26 minutes, so we'll actually just drop this at the front as well. That just takes care of that. Targeting, long-range targeting, 3, signature analysis, 3, target management, 4, with trade being broker relations 2, marketing 2, and trade at 3. Let's check our trade real quick as well. So I got broker relations at 2. I've got contracting at 2. That's not in the list. I've got marketing at 2, and I've got retail at 2, and I've got trade at 3. So I've actually got this where I need it. With a few enhancements, which, to be honest, they don't necessarily matter in the long run. Marketing isn't going to make a difference. Contracting is not going to make a difference if you're not running contracts. So that kind of thing. That actually more or less just helps me out personally. Missiles. I do want to check missiles. Missiles gives you a lot of leeway. You've got like heavy assault missiles you can get to 5. So you can get the heavy assault missile specialization to 3. You can get heavy missiles to 5, which lets you get heavy missile specialization to 3 as well. Light missiles to 5, light missile spec to 3, missile launcher operation to 5, so you can use the Tech 2 missile launchers. As I said before, missile projection to 2, rapid launch to 4, rocket spec at 3, so you can get rockets to 5, you can get torpedoes to 4, you can get warhead upgrades to 3. So there's a lot of good stuff in missiles. Cruise missiles to 4, guided missile precision at 3. All of this lets you kind of scale up with ships that utilize missiles. So this is really, really good stuff right here. Like here, I've got missile launcher operation to 5. So I'm ready to use the Tech 2 missiles. Rapid launch, we can get that all the way up to 4. So I could easily just drag and drop this up here. Maybe. Drag and drop it up there. There we go. Drag and drop it up there. What did it say? Rapid launch to 4. So we'll do that. You know, good stuff. Same with rockets. You know, like I was saying, we can get rockets up to 5. So let's drop them in the list too. That's a 4-day train. We're gonna drop that at the very bottom. It's gonna go right there. And honestly, rockets to 5 is really good because aside from like the light missiles, the rockets are your next smallest one down anyways. They've got very short range, but if you're going in there with a frigate, you're probably going to want to get under any other bigger ship's guns. So rockets will just be able to kind of hammer that point home pretty well if they're used effectively. And here's light missiles. You know, light missiles is a 9-day train, so I'll drop that right there. And that lets us get, you know, light missile specialization. I don't see... Yep, missile bombardment's at a 4. And doesn't cost that much. So we'll go ahead and grab that. And these are... a good thing about the way they revamped all this with the training queue is they really let you stretch it out, too. So all the stuff that I'm doing here, you know, the skill queue, the way they've redone the whole skilling system is actually really beneficial to capsuleers that want to play the game. Let's see, that's missile bombardment at 4. So there's light missile spec. I won't worry about that. Heavy assault missiles. Go ahead and buy the hams. Like I said, those can go all the way up to 5. We'll actually go ahead and get those. I'm going to go ahead and start by getting those to like 2. I'll just drop these in the... I'll do 3. Because why not? And here's heavy missiles. So again, same thing. drop him here. Maybe. There we go. Just right there. I mean, you know, that's... I could probably go through this list in, like, all night. But I think I've hit some of the more main points. You know, we've got our rockets training up. We've got our light missiles that we're already training. Got our heavy missiles now. And light missiles were already kind of up there. You know, so we've got... And then there's torpedoes if I wanted to go that route. Which they're not that bad. But they can only go to 4, so... I mean, they're not going to essentially... Oh, wow. I can't, put... Oh, okay, because you gotta have heavy missiles 3. Oh, that makes sense. So for anyone that was curious, it's just because I can't put a skill that I haven't trained up to. Torps requires heavy missiles to be at 3, and you can see that right here, the requirements. So obviously I can't put it in my SKU, my skill queue before I get through heavy missiles 3, light missiles 3, missile operation, launcher operation 2, and so on and so forth, as it shows right there. Warhead upgrades. That's a 2.6. We're not going to worry about that. Missiles. They did have target nav prediction. That's going to help out immediately. So we'll go ahead and just do that. And I'll go back through this in the future too, because there's plenty more to be done. Warhead upgrades is too much at the moment. Rocket specialization actually wasn't that bad, so I'm pretty happy to see that. Missile projection's good. Like, if you really want to just be a missile boy or missile girl, like, it's really easy to kind of get into that, just because of how cheap the skills are to buy and inject. Let's see here. Oh. I don't see anything for bomb deployment. I do see cruise missiles, but I think they're almost 1 million, but I'll go ahead and buy them. I believe cruise missiles, yeah, that requires quite a bit more, so we'll wait. I don't see defender missiles in the group. There is guided missile precision. So, yeah, we're pretty much good on that one. And I think that's it's pretty fair. Targeting, long-range targeting. That actually could only be at a 3, so I've got that at a 5. So I'm going to be a little bit better on long-range targeting in this case. Signature analysis could also only be at a 3. So again, I'm going to be targeting a little quicker than someone who's on an alpha account. Target management can only be at a 4. I've got mine at a 3. So probably just figure out where to drop that, just so that's out of the way. And that kind of takes care of targeting. Subsystems doesn't have anything. Like I said, anchoring, spaceship command. Social, probably should go over that. Connections, most of these skills are going to be at a 2, with the exception of social itself, which is at a 3, and diplomacy, which can be at a 3. Excuse me. And this, by and large, is something that it's 4% modifier per level 2 effective standing towards hostile agents. not cumulative with connections or criminal connections. But like any other things, like you've got criminal connections here, you can pick up. You know, you actually can't do fast talk. You can do distribution connections, mining connections, and security connections, which is good. So those can help, but those only get, like, you can only put those up at a 2. So, you know, if you're doing missions in those types of things, that might not be a bad way to go. The other big limitation, though, to having an alpha versus an omega is that can be the only account that you're logged into. So that's probably the other, like, highest limitation. So, like, that's why a lot of people either try to plex their account, or accounts, plural. It's not just for being able to train simultaneously one single character. And you do get, like I mentioned in the past, you do get 3 character slots. And you can only train one at a time unless you get a multiple character training certificate, which also lasts for a month. But yeah, like it is what it is. That reminds me, I think I had one. I wonder if that expired. You can usually check it like right here. Yeah. I don't have a, but you can see it like right in the pilot services for any of the 3 characters you've got. So it's actually like, I mean, it's pretty good. Okay, so I guess that'll pretty much cover it for that. So our next, the next thing we really want to go over or go through at this point is just to try to find some content. Let me go ahead and move this up just a little bit. All right, so how do we do that? All right, so just to kind of pick up where we left off at last time, we've got this wonderful piece of machinery here. Sorry, I'm still not. I adjusted this when I got it. I actually finally did get that. What's it called? The shock mount. And I'm not fully, like, I don't have it fully adjusted the way I want it. So I apologize if I'm making weird creaky noises or anything in the mic. Still working that last little bit out. But yeah, so it's like at this point, you know, we grabbed ourselves a. Oh, before I get into that, let's get into. First let's check these and see. Okay, make sure there's no skill points we missed. Let's check our market orders and see how they did before I do anything else. And it looks like they did pretty well. We don't have a whole lot left. We're still selling those 0-point condensates in Monarch. We've got some artificial neural networks, some current pumps, some defective current pumps, and some interface circuits that are still in Amar. But everything that was in JITA last time that we put in there, it all got sold. That's pretty good. All that stuff that we dropped in looks like all 5 of those things. With, of course, which of course was like our most expensive stuff, right? Because beyond that, the only other stuff that we sold shouldn't be in here anymore. Yeah, we sold all of our other stuff. So there you go. Like, JITA is a good place if you're wanting to sell some stuff. Like, that's proof of concept right there. And this, of course, was just notifying me that things have been completed, which is great. So let's go into our fitting screen. We'll double check. We'll just kind of recap what was said last time. And of course, we'll rename this as well. With no skins on this account. Oh, that's nice. I didn't know they added that. That's really cool. Okay, so what did we do here? So this is a Punisher, and this was the Amar Soldier of Fortune air skin. This is the one that CCP basically made a fit for and dropped it in there, so that way we as new bros, as alpha characters, can play it, can have fun with it. Now, in order to change it to the Tech 2 variant, because we can use that, we had to make a few modifications. One in specific, we had to drop off the Trimark Armor Pump 1 and put in a small processor overclocking unit 1. We also modified these, I believe. So we've got the Warp Scram. And keep in mind, it's a Scram. It's not a Disruptor. In the mid. Which... There we go. Or it's not a... Yeah, it's not a Disruptor. A Disruptor would actually have a longer optimal range. But it doesn't do... Like, it doesn't scram as hard. So, like, for instance, anything that had a Warp Core Stabilizer on it would be able to break free. At least that's how it was in the old way. I think the new way has... I think the stabilizers actually are used differently now. I think you have to activate them. Yeah, so like the Warp Core Scramble Strength is -2, right? So think about it like this. In order for you to warp, you have to have a warp strength of +1. It can't be 0. It has to be +1. So you have, essentially, you have warp strength. So, like, I'm not sure why it says Warp Scramble Strength. Unless it just is indicating that, like, this wouldn't be able to scram. Yeah, so, like, your Warp Scramble Strength here is 2. So, like, a Venture is one of the only few ships that actually has a Warp Scram Strength beyond 1. Where's it at? Maybe it's under fitting. There we go. +2 bonus to ship Warp Core Strength. Meaning that if you grab one with a, with your Warp Core, or with the Disruptor, you won't actually be able to grab it. It'll still be able to essentially moonwalk away. But if you grab it with a Scram, it won't be going anywhere. The same is said if you did that with anything that had a stabilizer on it. The stabilizer allows you to essentially take care of that problem, so you could still get away. Now, if there's more than one, as we call them, point on you, in this case, which is what a Scram and a Disruptor are. They're called points. You're not going anywhere unless you... Well, in the past, you could have more than one, and that would still allow you to get away, as long as you had more of those than you did have points. And, I mean, low slots can get filled up with these things, and you could potentially still get away. So it can get kind of crazy. But you get all sorts of penalties for activating, or rather using one. You can't use drones as effectively. You can't lock as far away. Your reactivation delay is 150 seconds. You can't auto repeat it. Your targeting range is reduced as well. So not only can you not lock as fast, but your targeting range is reduced. So you have to basically be on top of you in order to use that. Plus, of course, your bandwidth penalty, so you can't use as many drones. You can use half as many drones. So, like, there's all sorts of reasons to not use one. It's essentially to dissuade people from using it in combat as an offensive tool. It still could be effective depending on how you use it, but by and large, you're not using it for combat. You're using it for defense, for escape, and that's kind of the point of them. Of course, the point of points, scrams, and disruptors is literally to make sure that your quarry doesn't get away. Aside from that, we also upgraded the damage control. We went to 2, the heat sink to level 2, to tech 2 rather. Steel plates again to 2, multi-spec membrane to 2, and the eye stab to 2. And that's what we did to update this thing, to get it a little bit more battle hardened. I also went ahead and picked up some con flags since we're using some tech 2 pulse lasers, which should make for a nice, fun little fight if we can get up under somebody's guns. And yeah. And then, of course, the radios, which allow us to target a little bit farther out, with the multi-frequency being our close-range ammo. So that's pretty much it. As far as the PvP ship goes, we want to get into some action. This is what we're going to be using for said action. Excuse me. So, all right. So the next thing is, where do we go to find some action? Well, agency is probably not going to tell us. Like, even if we go into encounters, we're not going to see much. No, apparently we're not seeing anything at all right now because it's not loading. So we could go to our next best friend, which is the map. Okay, so places that we're going to want to go. Places we're not going to want to go. We're going to start there. It's going to be anywhere in high-sec. So any of the blues and the greens and the yellows. We're not going to want to go there. We're also probably not going to want to go to Pure Blind. There's a Diplo guy there named Professor Push. He'd probably get mad if a brave bro started shooting people on an alt account. So I'm not going to do that. I also don't really want to make Dunk mad. Or MyCorp CEO. They'd probably get especially mad. A good option, though, would be in just about any wormhole. So if we had access to a wormhole, that'd be great, right? But this isn't... Excuse me. This isn't a scanning ship, and we don't have friends to scan for us. So that's probably out of the question. So our next option is going to be low sec or anywhere in nullsec. If we go into nullsec, we're likely going to get blobbed, and that's going to be the end of it. If we go to low sec, there's a higher chance of finding fights, especially if we jump through places like faction warfare, Secede, Aga, Amamake, Dal. These are actually good places to go if we're looking for fights. You know, as our Arzad, Cormonen, Old Man Star, Huola. First, we should probably check the Eve server pulse, and we're looking at 16,000 capsuleers logged in at this current point in time, with it being almost 8 p.m. for me, Central Time. So there isn't going to be a whole lot of content out there, but we can roam around a bit and see what we can find. Easiest way to find that content is probably to see average pilots in space in the last 30 minutes. So we can see here, there's one pilot in system, there's one pilot in system, there's 3 pilots in system in Camella. Let's go ahead and head there And just to make things a little bit more interesting, let's prefer shorter. Our goal isn't necessarily to get blown up, but our goal is to get content. So if any of you guys like to do clips, we get content. Clip away. The clipping thingy should be active. This way, at least, now that I've set the route to pick up, to not, to prefer shorter and ignore security status, we've effectively gotten out of here, and now we're going into Rancer, Mertonin, Thelen. Those are good places to be. Hagelar is a good one. Evadi, Arnher, Egmar. These are really good places to actually try to find some content. So I can effectively show you guys how to use Dscan, how to look around for some content, see who's where, things like that. So this will ultimately, these will actually be good. This will be a good kind of little bit of training. This is really laggy for me. Let me do one other thing, just so I know. Yeah, things actually look pretty stable overall. All right. So let's go see what we can find. And by the way, as I mentioned in some of my pings that some of you might have seen go out, or perhaps I think I also made it. Hey, Rosewind, finally done, huh? But as I mentioned, this is essentially the end of the chapter for this stream. So this is it. This is why we're doing this. This is why I'm venturing out of my little shell and showing you guys PvP, because we are entering a new chapter, hopefully soon-ish, as affiliates. After this stream, I should be able to apply. And I didn't want to just click the go live button for 10 minutes and get off. That I felt kind of cheesy. Because, I mean, anybody that's followed me, all you guys that have followed me, you would have gotten that notification. And that just didn't feel right to me. It's just give you notification, spam your phones and whatnot. So, yeah. So what did you study today, Rosewind? Because I am curious about that, too. Oh, by the way, I should also mention endocrine system. Okay. I should also mention, if we're in Nullsec and we're fighting, and we actually manage to blow somebody up, we have to do it. We can't blow up their pod. We can't pod them. Man, this is just really laggy today for me. Oh, and if you guys hadn't noticed, I also fixed my super. So it should only pop up once every 30 minutes, and that's because I found essentially a script that was pre-done already. The guys at Nerd or Die apparently released like a free script for those of us wanting to show graphics for free on our overlays. It's pretty cool. Always like the free stuff, so I'm glad I could actually put that in. And I know nothing about the endocrine system, so unfortunately, other than to say that that's cool that you studied it. All right, we're gonna head towards perimeter. Couple of important notes about Nullsec. We cannot engage on gates. Gates have what's called gate guns. We will get shot, and we will get blown up. So we have to engage on a celestial. We can't engage. Well, yeah, we have to engage on a celestial. We can't engage on a gate. We can't engage at a system. So if we're heading in the low sec direction, then that's what we got to do. Although, you know, I didn't want to head to Nullsec, but perhaps maybe I will, just because it's easier to engage in a Nullsec system. Could find some miners. Actually, if that's the case, I might just go to the perimeter Keepstar and buy a filament. That's actually not a bad idea. So let's do that. It's a lot easier than dealing with the stuff that Nullsec gives us. Or low-sec gives us, because there's like all these little rules just to do low-sec. It's kind of, it's great if you're doing faction warfare, it's just not so great if you're doing other stuff. So, all right. Oh. Space Cat's at it again. Let's see here. We'll do current, show only available to station. And we'll do trade goods, filaments, jump filaments. Let's see, I think it's the signal that we want. Target quantum signals, just higher levels of activity. Yeah, this is it. This is the, see how much it is. Oh yeah, this is good. Let's see if we can find one in station. Bingo. Okay. We'll have to get in fleet for this, but that is okay. Oh, and let's not forget to rename. What do we want to name it? Fun stuff. We'll just name it fun stuff. Why not? Okay. We'll also make sure D-scan is ready. Make sure that's highlighted. I'm going to go ahead and warp out to a planet. That way I am away from any kind of dropped structures or celestials or things like that. Yeah, Mama's favorite, right? Oh, Misa. Oh, Misa. What is that? Oh, Master House. Okay. Other thing I want to point out is we want to set up our HUD, or yeah, head under display, I guess. We're going to want to group all of our weapons. We're going to want to go ahead and set our probably our longest range ammo, because we want to try to get up under somebody's guns. We're going to want to go ahead and put everything we need, because this is like, if you think about it in this way, we've got F1 through F8. This is F1, this is F2. So when I press F1, I'm going to fire my weapon. When I press F2, I'm going to be using my scram. So we want to make sure that it's ready to go. And then, of course, we've got the micro warp drive. We're likely going to pulse that. Everything else is passive. We don't actually need to utilize that or do anything with that. And the only other thing to know is that if we blow up, we're going right back to Samela. So it's good. You know, we spent our ISK. We got a whole bunch of ISK back. You know, our transactions were great. we made some ISK, so we're just having some fun with the ISK, because that's what Eve's all about. So, let's do the thing. Let's see what we can find. Oh, right. I still need to make the fleet. There we go. And then it will complete its session. And I can close that and activate. Oh, okay. Well, let's disable safety. For those of you that are curious, safety prevents all actions which gives you suspect or criminal. Partial prevents actions giving criminal status while allowing those that give suspect. It allows other capsulators to attack me for a limited period of time. And then disabling means that, it's fire at your own risk. Don't, if you attack anybody in high sec, it's going to cause you to lose your ship. So here we are. We're jumping through, and let's see how local looks. Got one guy in local, and if we scan around, it looks like I landed in... Oh no! I landed in RQOO. Oh no! I'm right next to Rio. All right, let's see what we can find. Let's go into... Let's head over to Geminate. Let's just start there. And let's see who we can make mad. We also want to avoid the rats at all costs because they will actually damage our ship pretty heavily. You guys can't see it, but I can see it. And that's that... trying to get out of Geminate because I still haven't left this alliance, which means I can't see them properly in my overview. Oh, there's a Neris. They're right there next to the Ritaru. Oh, no. They left. Far away. PHHS. They must be from Horde's High-Sec Corporation. Since we're doing offensive, we'll go ahead and switch out. Yeah, fun times. See where else I could probably go. Veil of the Silent. That could be fun. We'll actually head towards that. Still going the same direction, so that's good. So if I don't find anything here in this particular direction or way, then I believe Veil of the Silent is Lord territory, if I'm not mistaken. So that could be interesting. And they're actually in an Ishtar routing. I feel like that guy's following me. I just don't know what they're in. But this might be the fight that I'm waiting for. So let's see. Let's approach gate. Orbit at 500. Let's see what happens. See if they're going the same way as me, or... I'll just kind of wait here for a second. I like the colors on this gate. I feel like they've changed it up. Okay. Well, I don't think they're going to be jumping through. Because if they were following me, they should have jumped by now. So we shall keep going. I don't want to stick around too long. Like I said, I don't want to get blobbed, but at the same time, I want to look for a decent fight. And I would like to use my proper UI too. So. Okay, these guys. Again, there's an Ishtar up there. If I was in something bigger, like a cruiser, or if there was more than just me, I'd definitely go for it. But in Kabbalah Expanse, I mean, it's all Horde and Horde friends. So, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this guy's Horde. So. I'm probably just making all these people dock up anyways. They probably don't even really care. They probably honestly think that I'm like a scout. Because I'm in a... Because I'm in a Punisher. Honestly, your fast ships are usually your scouts for small gang stuff. So. Hey, here's one with a reserve bank of 73.3 billion ISK. Anybody who wants to do that, 9PO or 9P40 TAC F. If you do any ESS robbing, there you go. Good stuff right there. Interesting little setup right there. How close are we to the regional gate? Okay, we are just about there. That's kind of cool how the guns just kind of disappear and then reappear. Oh, somebody just jumped through. Looks like I had just missed them. Let's see if I can figure out what they were in amongst all this trash here. Nope, apparently I didn't get a D-scan. It's a lot of just wrecks on the field. Can I do minus drones and see without that? Guess not. I guess I have to do with drones. Okay, I'll just do a defensive. That way at least I can see ships and not all of that other stuff. Okay, so we are in... We're still in Horde space. Now we are in Gemini. Well, we're actually about to hit the regional gate, so we're leaving Gemini. And we're going to Veil of the Silent. Yeah, all of this is going to be Veil of the Silent, so... Why are they so far out there? Definitely booking it back to the gate, but wow. Okay, here we go. We are in fraternity space now. At least, I thought fraternity... I don't know. Okay, a couple more Ishtars. There are a few people here, but again, Ishtars, so... Okay. More fraternity space. Hey, Yelga, how's it going? ATAC Q. See how close we are to the end of our... we're still pretty far away. I've got me a nice shiny new Punisher here, Yelga, and I'm looking to get it scratched, dented, beat up, and possibly blown up. I took a signal needlejack filament out and landed into Horde space, and I'm slowly making my way through Veil of the Silent next. So, thought it'd be better than just going straight up to your... Yeah, I thought it'd be better than going straight up to Pureblind and attacking the brave guys. I figured, you know, our CEO might get mad at me if I did that to get a fight. Just a little. Just a little. Oh, look at that. For anybody who's curious, I believe... No. I wanted to say that was a gas cloud. Daywalking isn't a rule, just a light suggestion. I know, right? Huh. Neat. For those of you who are curious, and I can actually warp. Oh no, I can approach it because it's close. That right there is a... that's actually an NPC. Oop, time to get out of here. Drones. Or, not drones, but rats. That was an NPC. Some of them... Let's see, what were they called? They had a specific name to them, but they were out-of-station NPCs, essentially. And there's only like a few of them out in New Eden. And once you do their mission, that's what happens. So, like, you can't do the mission anymore. But they give incredibly good standings to whoever they're aligned with. So, here's another reserve bank for 7.35 billion ISK. For anybody that wants it, G5ED TAC Y. Time to get those ESS keys. Let's do it. I actually don't know if you can do ESS roaming as an alpha. I need to find out. Either way, I mean, you would have effective enough alpha skills to do it. So. There's another Ishtar. Another fraternity guy. In yet more fraternity space. And I'm about to leave this area of Veil of Silent. For any of you wondering, by the way, this particular area right up here on the map, we cannot get to it. It's called Jove Space because that's just it's been locked, but its lore is Jove Empire. Still okay. Got an Amar shuttle and an Apocalypse Navy. Now those are not things I really want to fight. But at any rate, like I was saying, that's actually CCP dev test area, essentially, like the actual reason for those areas, and we can't get to them. They're locked off. They're a part of the map, but we can't do anything. And one of the star systems is Polaris, and there's actually a corporation called Polaris Corp. Definitely CCPs. Definitely CCPs. For those of you that were curious, there's an Ishtar Fortizar. Private. 2 private Athenors. That's not fair. Maybe I wanted a private Athenor. Okay. Well, fine. 53.6 billion ISK in this one. QFF TAC 06. Guys, we need to go to Frat Space. Frat Space has got all the reserve ISKies. We would get lots and lots. Just saying. Just saying. The options. All right, we're officially down to 4 left. And I do have Garistas on us, so let's get out of there. Let's head over into Tribute. Let's make our way here. Oh, that's gonna lock me out there. Did I not go in the right direction? Am I essentially... I'm going to 1 GP. This way. So let's go this way. Oh, no, never mind. It updated. We're good. I'm about to go attack one of these Ishtars, just see what happens. But I'm not going to be quite that mean. Oh, here we go. This one's got 79.1 billion in the reserve bank. We are effectively in Guristas space, too. I'm finding a lot of Guristas rats, so... TVN... Let's see if I can figure out... This gives me Empire. Yeah. So this is all fraternity space right here. This is Guristas Pirates. Sylvanas Super Mercenary Group. That might be interesting to go. Azure Citizen. Go ahead and head over there. Orders Legion. Banderlogs. Scumlords. We form Blob. I think I'm allowed to attack those guys. I don't think there was like a reason to not. I know we've got a ceasefire, or we had a ceasefire with somebody, but... I'm gonna go and see about blasting one of these guys. Let's set destination over there, see what I can find. Man, it is quiet. Well, then again, I guess we are only at, yeah, 16.5 K accounts logged in, so. I mean, that makes sense. those guys are probably docked up somewhere. No? Got an Ishtar out. Found a Gnosis and a warp disruption bubble, so someone's obviously blocking off the area. Just a second. Go. My cat getting into trouble. As always. Another warp disruption bubble. So they've blocked off that area effectively. So they must be expecting somebody. Well, you gonna come up here? Come on up here. Come on. Poor cat. She just wants to be a part of the action. But she wants to be part of the action in all the wrong ways. I know that I've popped up on their radar already. Like, come on, up here. Here, let's chase this. Get it. Poor kitty. Here, come here. Okay, there's a guy here. Sort of. Actually, he's probably a part of fraternity. No, he's Imperial Academy. Okay. Let's see if perhaps maybe I can find him. She's gonna lay down there and be good. You know what? He might be a cloaky camper. For those of you who don't know, cloaky camping is something that happens quite frequently in Nullsec. Essentially, somebody cloaks up. They find a they get themselves a T2 covert op ship or bomber, or even just like, I don't know why you would use one, but an Astero or Stratios, and they essentially cloak up and they stay in local. So those that want to do ratting, crabbing, can't really do that simply because of the fact that that's a thing. You don't want to jump in because the cloaky camper also sometimes can have what's called blops equipment attached, like a Sino, so they can just warp in on you at 0, drop that, light that Sino, and then all of a sudden a bunch of Black Ops battleships and other things come at you and point you down and blow up your riding ship. And if you haven't made the ISK back to utilize a ship like that, it could be a pretty big loss depending upon how you do things. So it sucks. So, but that's what happens. That's what happens a lot of times, actually. I would rather not play my game like that. And I'm not sure if those cookie campers are bots or actual accounts. There's a lot of back and forth about either. Okay. So we are officially in Azure Citizen space. Or we should be. We are. I don't want to get too close to Pure Blind. So I'll probably... Why does Fraternity have so much space? Excuse me. I don't want to go that way. We'll do that. I think we can side skirt Pure Blind effectively that way. There's Volta and Bander logs. And there's some Serpent Sisters of Eve space as well, with WeForm Blob as well. So that actually might work okay. That might be fine. Okay. Let's see if they pop up. I didn't see them. Okay. Guess I'll keep going. Ishtar, Vexer, and Vexer. Okay. Well, eh. Let's see here. We should be skirting Pure Blind right about now. Which looks like I'm going to be in a lot of Bander logs area. Good enough for me. There's a Varger. Not sure that I want to take on a Varger. That would just hurt. It also wouldn't offer us a decently fair assessment. Okay. Okay, I'm officially in Volta space, so that's good. Good poke. Yeah. If I can find a mining vessel, Misa, the biggest problem I've been finding is there's a bunch of Ishtars, which are cruisers. And they're all going to be in sites, of course, so that's a bit of an issue, but also I don't think I could take out the Ishtar before I had to worry about the rats as well. So I might actually end up having to worry about both and warp off. I could go after an Ishtar. I just don't know how effective it would be. If I was going to do something like that, it'd be better to use like a cruiser. And maybe not something with that's so heavily reliant upon cap. So here we are. We're actually heavily in Volta space now. And now we're in Sisters of Eve territory. So for those of you that don't know, and I may have mentioned this in the past, Sisters of Eve, just like most other your pirate factions, and I believe some of your empire factions, their level 5 agents are found in the outskirts here in Nullsec. Specifically, the pirates and servant Sisters of Eve, which Sisters of Eve only has level 4 agents. This is where your most lucrative rewards come from, so you can do them and really kind of get quite a bit of a payout. Mostly it's the LP you're after, of course, as a mission runner. But oh yay, it actually worked. At least that one did. I don't know about the other one. I guess we'll find out. I may switch that to the Stream Elements bot. Might be better to do those things. Because I noticed it didn't post my other link. Oh, thank you, Misa. They work, yeah. Yeah, the commands work. I made sure that the commands work. Oh, I guess you poked the link tree one too. Okay. There we go. There's somebody there. Let's warp there and see if we can catch someone in between. They might be doing missions. Oh, it could be a Blob or Volta guy. It's an Athenor, so they're probably docked up. Yeah. But yeah, they do work, Misa. I just don't know if they're if the timers themselves work. I know the timer for the one. Excuse me. I know the timer for the one worked last time. Okay, that's a Volta one. So they're over here fighting this fight with we form Blob. We form Volta, we form Blob. Oh, what names. To be fair, it is a lot harder to catch somebody this late at night. So I was having some unstable events. That's unfortunate. For those of you that might have experienced those couple of unstable events, I apologize. I'm keeping somewhat of an eye. I noticed things were kind of flaky today. Overall, it didn't seem like there was much going on, but we'll see. I actually can do this. That way I can keep an eye on it like that. Keep an eye on it. CCP US. Smuggler route. I wonder if they did that on purpose. Star system named CCP US. I feel like CCP did that on purpose. Yeah, I would. Cruisers are more expensive though, Misa, and so are their fittings. And on top of that, I don't actually have the skills for running cruisers yet. Destroyers I could, but not cruisers. Still working up to that on this character. Oh, I kind of figured there'd be something here. Oh, go attack a cruiser. Oh, go attack a cruiser. Okay. Go attack a cruiser. Maybe the next one I run into. I think it might just be time to do something like that. Someone either left real quick or logged off. Getting up to the end of this particular run in Declan. Let's go. That's the fiery blaze of Poom. Yeah. Let's take a run into. Yeah, see, there's Brave Collective side. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. I think I cut right through. No, that's Banderlogs. That's Brave. I cut right through Brave space if I do that. Let's do. Let's go through less brave. Let's go there. Add waypoint there. Add waypoint there. That should give me less. There's Quote Alliance. Only 2 brave systems. 3 brave systems. Okay. That should be okay. I like that. Oh no. The rats are gonna find me at that rate. That's not what I want. Okay. So we're gonna head in that direction. That should give us a chance to kind of linger around in low sec a bit more. And then from there, we can actually head to like Raqqa Pass and Black Rise. That actually sounds like a pretty good idea. I think those areas are... This is Sovereignty Caldari State. So I wonder... I think there should be a way to see... yeah, here we go. Factional Warfare. All militias. Okay. Yeah, so once we hit into Black Rise, we'll actually be able to hit and... We'll actually be able to find some faction warfare areas. And perhaps maybe even some fights there. Unless I run into those guys. Doesn't look like I'm going to. Excuse me. Now they're all logged off, or they're all docked up there. I'm sure I've appeared on so many notices and intel channels. But people just aren't interested, I guess. Which is fine. All right. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a lot of me roaming around, jumping from system to system. Eve can be like that sometimes, especially if you're trying to find some content, trying to drum up some PvP content. PvP can be kind of difficult sometimes, outside of like the big fleet battles and things like that. So that can tend to make things a little bit more difficult. Oh boy, heavy missiles level 1. We're getting up there. Just come tell one of the... ask one of the wormholes to come find me. See if I can get one of my wormhole buddies to fight me. Maybe missiles level 1. So we've at least gotten a few a few skills trained up during this time period. So it's not all bad. Looks like our first low sec system is going to be Saarinen. Okay. There's a capsule. Wonder how close it is. Not very. They clearly left. They probably just docked up somewhere. Or they might be getting ready to jump. Excuse me. There's a Velator, which is going to be the Corvette, I believe. Must be, yep, that's Banderlogs. Okay. So we're effectively now in Banderlog's space, and I don't remember them having that icon, so I wonder if they've changed it. Why is it... Alrighty then. Alright. Oh, goodness. Yeah, looks like we are having a few problems with our network. I'd like to say it looks like it's not specifically us as it is just the internet. Yeah, it kind of looks like it's more the internet side of things. That being said, I know that there's work to be done. Ooh. Elo flight. Oh, okay. I'm very much in where Brave guys are at. Yeah. Okay. And fraternity are starting to come through. Excuse me. All right. At least this one didn't drain my capacitor that badly. Not that far of a jump. Okay, and I am effectively in Brave space now at the moment. So this will be like one of the only times I hope I don't run into anybody. Got about 3 other systems to move through. I'll take the fight if it's presented to me, but and then plead my case after. Oh, if only little Rifter dude. Oh, there's a horde guy here too. Yeah, I mean exactly. I'll just have to tell him, hey, sorry, I wasn't actually looking for a fight here, but and I'm effectively out of Brave space. This is no wait, this is quote. And I think the last 2 or 3 systems are actually the last 2 systems I think are Brave. I could be wrong. Those 2 are Volta. Or one of them at least is. Okay. Yeah, this one was Brave. And the last one should be based on the map. Yep. This one has nobody in it. Okay. Okay, so we're effectively back in Lowsec. Not really a place we want to stick around in too long. Yeah, it's really dead. And that's because there's only like 16,000 people online. Yeah, 16.3 thousand accounts logged in, and of them, not too many are probably actually active players. Let's go here and see if we can drum up some fights in these next couple places coming up, since some of those are contested areas. it actually might be something we can take a fight into. No saying for sure, but it's worth a shot. So I mean, if we make the rounds here and this doesn't actually work out, we can move back, do a couple of abyssals, just to say that we've gotten something done, and then go from there and focus on, you know, what the next big ISK making venture is going to be. Actually, more specifically, I got something else planned, so we may head back to Perimeter Jitta so we can prepare for that for the next time, because there's gonna be some pretty fun stuff coming up that I want to do. Just to play around a bit. Okay, so here's a Caldari Infrastructure Hub. That's kind of an idea. I believe if I go to MISC and I go to PVX Faction Warfare. No? I don't think that's what I need to go into. I think it needs to be something else. We'll go ahead and warp to it and see. Or is it anomalies? Yeah, it's the sites here. So it's actually these sites. It's like, here's the Caldari Infrastructure Hub, the iHub, that's what it looks like. So in this case, we probably want to go to a Novice Hub. I believe I can access that. And then the idea is that if you enter it, like, it's behind a gate, just like this. And this is for faction warfare, of course. So they're not there. So, like, I could do... And since they're not on my D-scan at all, they're not anywhere on any of these sites here. So I go out to about 14.3 AU. So I won't find them there. I might find them in one of these two places, if they're out there at all. So let's go ahead and keep moving and see. It's obviously contested a little bit, but it's not quite there yet. So this is what we're looking for. So we're looking for these sites in the probe scanner now at this point. And so here we've got a couple more that are in system. There's nobody on scan, so we're likely going to go to probably none of these, because if they're anywhere, this one says open outpost. So let's jump to the open outpost and see what we've got. Okay, so we got a Vexor and Catalyst. They're likely duking it out. So I'm going to see if I can jump up. I don't need to jump in. Catalyst is right there. he left. There is a jackdaw, however, and we probably don't want to take on the jackdaw. So let's get out of here before we get attacked by that state battlecruiser. They're close, so let's do... Let's go to the small. Actually, let's hold off on that. Let's... Yeah, he's close. Let's go to the small and see if we can catch him. He's no longer there. Alright, so let's see... Actually organize these by distance. So large right there. So we know somebody's kind of hunting around. And they could have docked up. Could run anything. Yeah, and there's a lot of people here. So in this case, let's go to... There's an open outpost right here. Let's go there. There's also an Astra House dropped right there too. So a lot of them might be right there. Guess we'll find out. Looks like nothing's coming up on D scans, so chances of them being there are probably pretty slim. There's an open one right here. So it's an open stronghold. Okay, same thing. Not here. We will just go ahead and head out. I didn't really see anything on scan anyways, so... While we were hopping through. So there was either we just kept missing them, or, I mean, the chances are I don't know what I'm looking for, which is fine. Might also see... Let's actually head through here, and we'll see what else we can drum up. Because a lot of these look like they're contested too. Might as well kind of give it a poke. Okay, so nothing here. There's a medium installation. Some large outposts. There's an open outpost right here. So let's check this one out. Okay, so I guess once they become open... They open up like that. Got a couple of large outposts that are open. Alright, so we'll just keep going. Medium outpost. I'm just gonna try to go directly there, see what happens. We'll see if anything kind of comes of this. There is a catalyst here, so might as well give it a shot. See what happens. Acceleration gate. See if we can engage. I believe it has to be mediums or less. Okay, I can go in. So here we go. We're gonna see what happens. Maybe he'll leave, maybe he won't. Ah, he left. Well, bummer. Had a couple more come in, though. He might have been bait. They haven't shown up. Yeah. My cat is very active tonight, and I'm really not sure why she is. But she is, so. It's popping all over the place. Same thing. There's a novice compound, so we'll... Actually, they're not. There's nobody there. Let's go to the natural... No? This installation, maybe? I don't really want to punch well below my weight, but... Okay, so kind of the same thing here we're looking at. There isn't anybody nearby on this one. Which is fine. Like, that's good, because I didn't really want to go into a novice compound if I didn't, like, absolutely have to. I wonder if I should just engage this guy into faction warfare, or if that engages the whole corp. I'd rather not do that to the whole corp. I might need to look into that. So here's another, here's a decent one. By the way, the timer that we got is a suspect timer. So I can be freely engaged. And, oh, just another cat making noise. Let's go to the jackdaw and scan. Let's go to the small outpost, see what happens. Because I am in a small ship, so. Like, I could, if I wanted to engage a cruiser, I could go into a medium outpost, but that's more or less asking for trouble. A bunch of ventures here and a burst. Probably already gone. Okay, I'm game. Let's see what happens, I guess. Let's go after the burst. Oh, nothing. There's a pilgrim. Okay. There is a pilgrim. Thought the pilgrims couldn't be scanned down. Through, So they're close. Or they were. About 10 AU out. I would put them... Let's try this small one here. And the only other thing that makes sense is for them to be in the Jasper or Hedbergite. Just because I'm curious. Just because... Punishment. Asking for trouble sounds like fun. Yeah, I know, right? Let's just see what we can do. Why not? It's either going to be fun or it's not. It feels like bait. Like, I keep seeing that pilgrim popping around. And that screams bait. So much. There's no way. Yeah, I didn't think so. There's no way. And they're still close. That's the weird thing. Which means they're in the medium outpost. I bet if I warped here, I'm going to warp within 100, see if it lets me warp within 100, see what happens. Worst is going to happen is I'm going to lose it, but I'm almost positive this is where they're at. No, they're not. That's surprising. I wonder where in the world this guy docked these ships at. Now I gotta know. I know they're 10. I know they're 5. There's the burst. So the burst isn't together with them. Okay. I kind of more want the burst than I want anything else. So, I mean, if I don't find these other ships, that's fine. Pilgrims with the Athenor. I want to say that's where he's at, but I don't think that's right. Yeah, because that's not where he's at. They're all still there. That's the strange thing. I bet that I can almost bet that Pilgrim is looking for them too. What happened? I guess first things first. Let's find out exactly how far away they actually are. Okay, so they're that far away. So let's drill it down a little bit more. Because it makes more sense for them to be by the Celestials. And they are. Hmm. So they're probably locked up in a safe. If I had to guess. Alright, well, it was worth a shot. I mean, they're obviously in the area. No clue exactly where they're at. And they could be in either one of these cosmic sigs. One of them could be gas. I think you still have to scan down gas, no matter where it's at. So there's the jackdaw. Again, nobody wants to engage on the gate because of gate guns. All right, let's see what we can find. The small. There's novice. There's an open outpost right there. Let's warp there. Wow, everybody left, so never mind. Let's just head to the next spot. Everybody just sort of disappeared on that one. Okay. Still kind of the same setup here. There's a large outpost that's open. Let's go to the next spot. So, one's probably not going to amount to a whole lot. Let's do that. And pass through Stackmon. Yeah, that'll work. We'll do that. Just kind of keep going. Another option too is just kind of to head in the direction at this waypoint. Actually, at this waypoint. There we go. That's better. Gives us a little bit more. There's an endurance. Okay. I kind of felt like bait. I guess we could poke back through and see. So that's gonna be not anywhere close to here. But that one. Let's see if I can catch him. He is very close. So this could be where he's at. He is there. He's pretty far away. Let's find out. Ah, he cloaked up. But I already know which way he went, dude. Come on, come on. Ah, he warped. Oh well. Better luck next time to me. Crystalline Crocite. That's what he was after. Good choice. Okay, got an Atron here. Well, maybe. Let's see. See if he sticks around. He's here. And he's gone. Alrighty then. Yeah, let's just head on out. I don't think we're getting anything else here. Yeah, at least I found someone. I found a couple people. So they were the Endurance was actually a pretty good sport about it, by the way. So in chat they were yeah. They told me nice try, so almost had, if they hadn't have cloaked up, that was my big problem, is that I lost power because I cloaked up, so I couldn't follow them anymore because I was dumb. Rather than just kind of clicking a point in space, I double clicked them. So I did all the right moves except clicking on them. So them cloaking up actually broke what I was doing, broke my speed. So I need to make sure to use. I think it's my A, or there's actually a keybind. Warp 2, align 2. Yeah, it's my align 2. So it's my A key. And that would let me do that. Caldari small. Let's try for the Caldari small and see if they're there. Since the Caldari small is open and there's one person here. It's a Loki. Okay, well, that's probably not what I want to do. Let's just nope out of that. A Loki would shred me. Hands down. That wouldn't even be a fight. However, we have a small outpost here. Let's go ahead and warp to it since it's open. Let's see what we can find. There's two people here, so... Got a Thorax and a Merlin. Could probably take on either of those, honestly. Probably wouldn't want to, but let's see. Let's see if the Merlin's up for fighting. Or he's gonna run away. He might not. No, here to get away. Alright, well, let's just go to the medium. I'm kind of surprised. I figured that they would want to fight a little bit more, but evidently it's just a... I bet they both went there. If I had to guess, that's probably what happened. Yep, they both went there. move. Come on, move. All right, so here we go. As you can see, I'm not doing a whole lot of damage to this guy here. If anything, his drones are actually doing more damage to me than anything else. We'll take out some of his drones here. See if we can maybe slightly defang him. Oh, that's not gonna work. Disengage. And poof. Good fights in chat. And we're back. All right. So we found someone. We got blown up. From here, we did lose some security status. There's a kill report available. You get some default insurance if you don't insure your ship. I got 79,000 ISK because I didn't bother. They responded with a good fight as well, so that was good. And let's see here, a couple other important factors. Kill report. So an Eve-based kill report looks like this. Yeah, pew pew. So this lets you know what your ship looked like, what it was. You know, as far as Eve is concerned, it was about 9.5 million ISK. You know, who blew me up, who did top damage, and it'll also list other people if others were involved. They, right as we got in there, as you can see, they actually took out the pilot that was flying that Atron, I think it was. So that was it. That was another big thing. But beyond that, like, that's pretty much it. Like, that's it took us all stream to find somebody, and then we had to go to faction warfare space just to get a fight. So that, I mean, that sucked. But the whole point of this was to go out and get some fight. You know, get a little bit of pew pew. And we did it. So give us a little bit of a taste of how that works. Let's see what it's going to take for us to get back to HiSec. How far away are we? We're not that far. We're also not that far away from Samela, at least based on the star map. Yeah, so we're not too far away. We're a couple jumps, and then we can just jump the rest of the way through HiSec. In a pod. But either way. Now, as I mentioned, security status did go down because we were in low sec. We won't be able to log off safely. We also have a suspect timer, so capsuleers can freely engage us. We also can have limited engagement still with the person that attacked us, or that we attacked and attacked us, of course. So that's basically it. Of course, podding will take a bigger security status hit, and I'll show you guys right now. Like, my security status right now is 0.2. Of course, we haven't done much to push that up. We also haven't done much to push that down. And this, you can see, we've gotten gains, and then recently we got that aggression, so it dropped by 0.4, which isn't really much of a drop, but either way, that way you guys can see it. If you keep doing this kind of stuff, and I believe you actually lose more security status the higher low sec security you get to. So like 0.4 actually gives you more of a decrease, I think. Don't quote me on that. That's my understanding. How do I? Oh yeah, that's right. I did groups. So yeah, if we want to fight, we can always go back to faction warfare space. These people, depending upon who they are, like, and just as there is anything in Eve, you know, you generally don't want to take a fight you can't win. I didn't really think I was going to win against Thorax, but the point wasn't to win. The point was to engage. You know, you generally want to pay off the ISK value in your ship before you lose your ship. For people that are PvPers, that generally means that when you outfit a ship, you want to make sure you kill roughly as much in ISK as what you spent on the ship. And for those of us in PvE, that means that we want to make back the amount of ISK we spent before we lose it to like a PvPer or to rats or something like that. Server unfortunates, things like that. So those kinds of things are the things you would generally expect. And we got a Thrasher and a Hecate here on gate. If I had to guess, they're probably gate camping. And we are effectively back in high sec. So I guess this is a good place to talk about what's next for us. You know, there's been a bit going on behind the scenes. You know, I've been doing a couple things over the weekend to get us ready. Like I said, this is the last stream, or it should be essentially it is definitely the last stream before I should get my application to become affiliate, which allows us to kind of open the doors to do more things. And I've gotten a few assets and I've gotten some stuff ready. And like I said last stream, I'm also working on a rebrand. More specifically, it's just a color rebrand. The name is staying the same. Misa, my wife, actually came up with a great idea, and that was to color code and essentially rebrand to allow my channel to have its own identity, separate from the main section of my content creation, which is Eclipsed Frontiers. So while my channel, Luraziel, me, is going to have its own thing, Eclipsed Frontiers is going to maintain like a lot of the same purples and the spacey vibes. This channel is still going to have a lot of the space vibes, but I wonder if it'll let me switch over and show you guys what I've been working on. So bear with me. I'm going to switch this over real quick, and I think I've attached my webcam and everything to it. Okay, well, that's better than nothing. There we go. Okay. Better than it was. Maybe. There we go. Okay, so that was strange. I'll make a note that I can't go into OBS and just change my settings when I want to. I have to actually do that pre-production. Yeah, I just switched back to scenes, or back to the chatting Misa. Okay, so make a note of that. I can't just switch my scene collection. But at any rate, you did see the that. So that's good. That's kind of an idea. And I was kind of hoping I could just chat in that at the end. But I guess not. Oh well. At any rate, that's kind of a short preview. That will get worked out in. It'll be a lot better before it goes live. I guarantee you. It's gonna be better than this, but better than what I've got here. We're working on it. So yeah, that's kind of it. The colors are going to get changed and modified after tonight. I'm going to start putting up some panels. I'm going to prettify the about section. I'm going to make my page, my channel, essentially different color scheme wise, but still the same theme as Eclipsed Frontiers. I'm also looking into getting a QR code so that way you guys can have easy access to my Linktree account, which has all of my links and everything, just kind of right there in the beginning. And that's something that's coming as well. Just kind of easy access so that way nobody's left out of the fun and left out of the action, that kind of stuff. Because easy access to content is always better than multiple clicks and difficult access to content, right? So anyway, the bright side is we're about 2 jumps away from Samela. We're almost back. I've been jumping this whole time. So we're there. I'm sorry that took so long to get worked out. I'm not sure why everything just wanted to not transition the way I wanted it to, but I guess scene collections are a little bit different. I guess if I would have thought about it ahead of time, I would have just copied the scenes over beforehand. But I didn't honestly realize it was going to be that difficult, so I apologize. Or cause those kinds of issues. So, oh yay! Look, my my timer finally works. It finally does a thing. That's awesome. um, I promise things will be better. Things are getting better. So yay. So yeah, I mean, at this point, that's pretty much it. The reactors are screaming at me that they are fully charged. We are ready to go back into hyperdrive on to our next destination. So from here, I bid you all farewell, and I will see you in the verse.